How's it going, guys? Chris back here again with some more Historic Brawl. Today we are checking out a new commander. It's actually from the set. Can you believe it? Polukranos Reborn. Now, building this deck did have me a little irked, and the reason is Kaldheim. About to say, I do love me some Vikings. I do. Like Vinland Saga. Been amazing recently. Vikings, they're cool dudes. I do like them. Yeah, this is less likable, but I can work with it, I guess. But I got beef with Kaldheim. I do. And the reason is because of these little bad boys. Snow-covered lands. The thing is, there are certain cards that are snow-flavored cards, and it's just objectively the right choice to use snowlands. If you want to get the full benefit out of one of these cards, and so you got to go through it and you got to click out all 16 of the first color that you want, and then you click out the next 16 of the next color you want, and it's just a little bit tedium. So I got beef with Kaldheim because of that now. Although they are pretty, like, I gotta say, they are pretty. Look at that owl. That is a nice owl. Our opponent is searching up a land? Okay. Turtle 42, 420 power 7? I don't know what any of that means. What does it mean? I played the wrong land. So we are a ways away from casting our commander, even though he is a 3-mana commander. Actually, we're only one. We are 2 turns off, because the next turn we play our Forest and our Elvish Mystic, and that'll get us there. There is the culprit, by the way. Blizzard Brawl. Blizzard Brawl, if you have 3 or more snow permanents, gives your creature indestructible, which is just really good. I don't need the 3rd mana, so we can... So this is kind of a... This deck, I was thinking about what's like Polukranos flavored, and he is the World Eater, right? Freed from the underworld, the World Eater resumed his endless feast with enthusiasm. But you can't really eat the world with Selesnya. So I thought the best thing would be to eat our library. So we are our mono white card draw shell with all of the good card draw from mono green, except for the Great Henge, which really should be in the deck, but I never remember it exists. Oh no, our boy is tapped. I'm going to pause after this match and put the Great Henge in. Because it is definitely a requirement. It's our 2nd copy of Guardian Project, which is kind of important. Why is everything entering tapped? Did you do that? You did do that. That's on you, man. That's on you. Don't worry, I'll fix it for you. Probably should have fought down the Angel, but... I wanted to do some damage, and that required getting a blocker out of the way. Next turn we can get down Luminous Broodmoth, and, you know, I should probably put in Solemnity, too, just to get the Infinite Broodmoth combo. If you want to avoid your creatures disappearing, that's a good way, right? Yeah, I think I'll make those 2 changes. I don't know, sometimes, because sometimes I prepare videos ahead of time, generally whenever a set's about to come out, right? And, back in. No need to worry about people surviving. Yeah, generally I'll have like a 2 or 3 day break where I have everything recorded, so I don't have to worry about as much in the evenings, right? And sometimes when that break happens, I come back and I just feel fresh, and the decks I build, from my minuscule perspective, feel as though they have some degree of inspiration to them. And sometimes I come back from those kind of breaks and the decks I build are just insanely derpy, like non-existently functional in thought processes. They took no damage. Or actually they took 4 damage. I'll probably ephemerate my Wall of Blossoms next turn. Dude, we didn't lose anything, did we? Wow. Impressive. Impressive. No, we did, didn't we? Yeah, we did. And we lost our Priest of Ancient Lore. What you can exile opponent? Commander. I don't know if it was the right choice, if I'm being honest. Because I can just cast it again. Yep. Let's ephemerate the Wall of Blossoms. Or less. Yeah, I guess since we can't really do anything else this turn, we might as well take out the Wandering Emperor. We'll draw a card. I don't know, it's come together very well. My last 3 or 4 decks have not come together very well. They've been in the derp category of deck building, where it's that is a really cool card. I don't think it's good, but I think it's really cool. You essentially get a good card from your graveyard and a good card from your opponent's graveyard. For 7 mana, it's probably a little bit overcosted, because if you are doing that, you could just pay the 8 for Rise of the Dark Realms, but I got my Elvish Visionary. It's one of my favorite boys. We're gonna Giant Killer next turn and probably swing in for lethal. But I would say Elspeth is one of those characters that you just know that the person that wrote Elspeth initially is not the person who has been writing for Elspeth recently. And part of that's because she's just had such a wild journey that it's clear that the plot probably wasn't there. +1/+1 and trample. So you can go there. So that's 4 guaranteed damage. You can go there. Okay, our opponent has conceded. That was game 1. It was a bit of a longer game, which is nice. But we did feel pretty well off in that game. So I'm kind of happy about that. Also happy that we've earned enough gold for another pack, because that'll be a 10 pack or a golden pack. I guess that's what they're called. for Amonkhet, man. Like, I'm pretty sure this background's supposed to represent Amonkhet, and they have just been... Like, everything horrible happens to Amonkhet. Nothing good happens to Amonkhet. They had one of the most powerful demons we've seen in the series just hanging out on their plane. Nicol was their ruler. They then got involved in an invasion of Ravnica and Keep. After that, they got involved in an invasion of the multiverse. So they got invaded themselves. Like, they've had it rough, man. Give Amonkhet a break, wizards. I don't know what the ancient Egyptians did to make you mad, but I'm sure they're sorry. Hey, there it is. I wonder if it's worth it to put more dual lands, even if it means putting common dual lands. Because we basically have to choose what we're going to cast on the turn we're going to cast it, right? We either choose to cast our commander that turn, or we choose to cast Torrens. And now that we've drawn Adeline, we also have to delay her for a couple of turns, because so I wonder if it's worth it to get down to the Beast Whisperer first, and then the Torrens, and then we can just start casting creatures all mad. Like, it would be nice to get down Adeline first. That way you can get some value out of her triggers, but yeah, I don't think I need to block that. I think I'm gonna go with Beast Whisperer. There's no way you would sacrifice a Provisioner for a chump block for life total. It's just such a valuable card. Like, the create a food token isn't that great, but it is situationally good, and then the created treasure is really good. Yeah, 2 treasures. The only thing that makes sense, really. We'll block here. The Wall of Blossoms can go. So I think we Torrens and just fight that down so it can stop being annoying. So next turn we gotta go on our creature casting spree. I can cast Adeline Primal Conqueror now, which is like Polukranos, except for initially bigger and then eventually bigger. Right? So it's a 7/7 into an 11/11, whereas Polukranos is a 4/5 into a 6/6. Not saying Wizard plays favorites, but I think they might like dinosaurs more than Hydras. You know, as evidenced by them not printing dinosaurs for like 20 years. You're going to give something indestructible? Very neat. Very neat. You don't get attack triggers, do you? I'll just take the damage. I think we start off with Welcoming Vampire. And then we go to Esper Sentinel. Then we go to Avacyn's Pilgrim. Finally. I did not know that that land would be so hard to find. We made quite the board. I think I have 7 power here to block an Atali if it wants to get frisky. I don't have 11 though, that's the issue. So if they just take the turn to flip it, we will be sad. They didn't. They traversed the Outlands, which is just a bonkers card. Especially with the Tireless Provisioner on the board. So they will just flip it anyways. I click through each one too, unfortunately. I've been their opponent. It's not a very intuitive system. Arena, please fix the yield all button to abilities. That'd be nice. I mean, it works, but it definitely does not work fully as intended. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 plus. So we have 15 damage to block with. We have slightly more toughness. So we have 16 toughness. But we basically have to throw away our entire board to make it happen. Indestructible too. Why are you indestructible, Miro? I don't get it, man. Oh, we're just dead, GG. Yeah, the double strike is a problem that we did not know. We came close. We came close. On to our final game, Game 3. We have a surplus of time to go into it too, so things are looking good. Man, it's about getting to the time where I can start putting up another series along with the Magic content, but I don't know how I want to do it this time around. Generally, I do it every other day, but like back when we were doing more regular other content, there were less people, so I didn't have to worry about how much entertainment value it would provide because it affected less people. I might do what I did with the Dark Souls Remastered, which was regular Magic videos went up as normal, and then in the evenings, a non-Magic video would go up that was just Dark Souls. Yeah, so I've beaten Elden Ring on the channel, and I've beaten Dark Souls 1 on the channel. We've beaten Morrowind on the channel. We played Skyrim, but I didn't beat it, because I got bored, I think. I don't know, Skyrim's one of those games that's kind of like a flash in the pan for me. I'll get the nostalgic feeling to play it, and then I will play it for like a week, 2 at the max, get up to like level 40, do whatever weird dungeon I was thinking about or remembering as kind of fun, and then I'll be like, why am I doing this again? And I'll be like, oh yeah, there are other Elder Scrolls games that I think are more fun. And then I'll go play one of those. Yeah, no, I'll block with my 0-4. It's a Wall of Blossoms. I don't really care if it dies. Yeah, honestly, I find Morrowind more fun. Because there's so much more weapon variety, and so many more mechanics and mechanical interactions that overall it just is a more enjoyable experience for me. Like, the combat is significantly worse. Like, I don't think there's anybody that's going to jump off the deep end to say that, well, there are some Morrowind, like deep Morrowind fanboys that would be like, Morrowind combat was great, and it does have good features to it. I won't say it doesn't, but it wasn't exactly great. Up against a Shieldred deck. I kind of knew they were mono black, but it kind of spaced on who was in charge. She's a bit of a scary commander, actually. You know, I was talking about my favorite game series, which is never a good thing. It just gets me so off track, off topic, that it is not good or healthy for anybody. I think I'm going to flip him next turn. We haven't flipped him, and we probably need to. Yeah, no, I'll trade. So let's just do the thing. Yeah, Shieldred is gonna kill us, but they might trade Shieldred off. And if they don't, we just deal raw damage, which is fine too. I say that, it might not be. Yeah, we're getting Hammurabi'd, man. Or not Hammurabi'd, Sazend. Pretty hard. What is it, fine? Because the only thing that Farewell couldn't deal with was Obnixilus. Let's go ahead and sacrifice you. Don't worry, opponent, it'll make sense. Creatures, graveyards, artifacts, not enchantments. I guess I shouldn't have done graveyards either. We might have been able to reanimate something like that Dariel, but we don't have the reanimator one. We have the lifelink one. He's kind of cool, I guess. Shieldred, you're gonna get eaten again. Just can't afford for you to stay alive. I might have to go full desperation mode and put a Cloudsteel Kirin on a Llanowar Elves next turn, which would be funny, honestly, but probably not the optimal way to stay alive. Have we actually priced him out of Shieldred? I don't think so. I think they still have one more Shieldred in the tank. 6/7, so they have to have a land for it, but Morbid Opportunist, okay. So I think I want to get down one of my 4-drops next turn. Gisela is the one I want to keep alive because she's a lifelink creature, which is kind of necessary for our survival at the moment. But I fear that if I play her, opponent hits out a removal spell, and then I don't have an answer to the life loss off of Shieldred, and we die. That is the current worry going through my mind. Thinking back to off-topic topics, back to Elder Scrolls, because that is honestly wherever my brain will gravitate is towards an Elder Scrolls game, if that's a thing to gravitate towards. Oblivion, man, I never really liked that one. It was good, but it was not my first experience, so I didn't really have that nostalgia for it, and it also didn't have I don't know, it had some of the worst qualities of a Luminous Broodmoth. That'll be protection that I need to stay alive. Thank you very much. It had some of the worst qualities of Morrowind, and it had some of the worst qualities of Skyrim, which is not the best place to be. Although I think that Oblivion, more than the other two, has its own charms, particularly in its questing system. Like, it substantially improved questing over Morrowind, in that you had a smaller pool of quests, but they were I don't want to say that's not really the improvement. The improvement is that the quest had more quality to them. Like, they were more memorable. Like, I do love the first quest from the Fighters Guild in Balmora, just to go kill some rats. But that's like generic fantasy, right? Generic fantasy rat killing quest. And when Oblivion did it, instead you were protecting the rats from a mountain lion, which in itself was kind of cool. But go on, then, opponent. I think I'm gonna swing with everything. And the Kirin can get lifelink. Boy, that lifelink arrived at the 9th hour. Yeah, we were gonna tail swipe just to get rid of Shieldred and in the game, hopefully. But that was our look at Polukranos. He's really cool. I think a card draw engine is really good for him, and even though we didn't get to flip him, having a 4/5 for 3 mana, pretty decent on its own. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.